good day, as I don't know when you're watching this. Um, Good day seems appropriate. So, what I'm going to cover in this video will be what we went over in practice this past week for those of you that couldn't make it. Not Wasn't too much, but in preparation for our upcoming game, we was pretty much getting a sense of how kickoff is going to look like, and how we're going to want to approach the kickoff. Whether we're starting, we had the kickoff, or we are defending first, and kind of gave a scenario. Okay, this is what we might expect. This is how we want to attack, so on and so forth. We also went over some throw-ins, a couple general rules, but most importantly, some people weren't familiar with free kick rules, so I think that went very well, and kind of went over and made sure that we all understood what the difference between a indirect and direct kick, free kick was, and how um, you can go about doing that. So we kind of like put up the wall. Okay, this is what you're gonna see, so on and so forth. Pretty much everyone had a pretty solid understanding of what they can and can't do, what would render a foul, and things of that nature. So I'm very happy, for that session, and that pretty much everyone's pretty much had a pretty positive. Um, I wouldn't say expectation, but they're pretty positive, receptive to everything, and had an understanding with all the rules. So I'm saying a lot because I'm just doing impromptu with no script. There's no script, script free. So I'm kind of winging this. Um, but here we go. Here we are. So let me show you kind of example. So if you weren't there, this is what we worked on. Okay, so in a sense, kind of like, right, this is how it may look like, right? So not necessarily how it's going to go in game. It's all dependent on how their team uh, will form. Their formation might be a bit different. This person might be here. They might have this person there, so on so forth. So if you weren't there, what I talked about was, okay, if we're on defense, um, it's knowing, who. Okay, this is okay, defense here. So we're the red, right? We're red, and they have the ball first. We're outside the circle, right? They're kicking off, right? And it's to the kind of like see who's up front. We want to look at who's going to be, what's their offense looking like. Their attackers, their midfielders. So right here, we know that this person here, number 8, is either a midfielder or they're one of the strikers, right? So, and then we look in here, we can kind of assume that this is another midfielder, a midfielder, or maybe a forward, and then they have these are either midfielders as well, midfielders. I'm sorry. So, uh, so once we have established, who is all up front, we know we have an understanding. Okay, these are like the main hitters. These are the people that we can be seeing a lot that are be attacking about up front, and so it is best to start marketing them. So hey, this is where communication um, takes part, right? So up front is to recognize who's on the offense and to mark them. So let's say that these numbers on these blue circle, these blue dots, right, represents the jersey number. So what we're going to do is we have this is a left midfielder, and they're gonna okay. Well, he's obviously a midfielder or striker, so we're gonna mark him. They're on this side, so we're gonna mark this person. There's no one else up here to worry about. So this is who they're gonna mark at first. And then we have this person here. This is probably one of our strikers. And they're gonna kind of push forward afterwards. But for now, they're gonna mark 7, right? And they're also going to monitor and mark 8, depending on how they start their kickoff. And so on and so forth. Self-explanatory, as you can see by this little diagram here. So they can kick off, might kick off to this person here, then they might drop back, and so they can kind of pass, or and then they'll push up. They could do a number of things. We can't. It's hard to tell until the kickoff starts, but we know who's gonna be up here, so we need to watch out for it. So if they're kind of slow, right? If they're kind of slow starting off, and they kick it off, and they're just kind of standing around, and they're gonna start kind of moving up. Understand, I need you all to understand that a lot of these teams, this is our first game, so you'll see the difference. I'm gonna guarantee you'll see teams that have practiced a lot, so they can be very comfortable already from the gate, getting started, and then you will have some teams that are still not getting used to, not as comfortable, and so balls going around, and they're not really pushing. They're not pushing up as fast as other teams, right? So their pace may be a bit different. So let's just say that everyone has a different pace due to the experience and other factors. So what we're going to do is we're going to keep an eye on how they start off their kickoff. We're gonna observe their pace. If so, they're already starting off and pushing, but we know that okay, cool, they mean business. They want to go ahead and start attacking early, and we're gonna get to work. We're mark who we mark. We're gonna communicate. Hey, nice pushing, got someone. They're gonna be on alert. Let me get my little box going. So from the jump, if you're on defense, if you're a fullback, you're gonna be on alert. So as soon as you see them crossing as soon as they're passing this area, right? If they're already passing and they're down here, you got to get ready. You got to get ready to get work and come up and start to intercept. Join in on the defense. So if the ball ends up, okay, I'm ready. If a ball ends up with number 7, and they're pushing to the right on the right side, and for whatever reason, um, they lose our defender. They lose 5, right? So they're down here. Okay, cool. That person got burnt, or he slipped, or whatever. So now we're looking back. Of course, they can kind of draw back to help defend the ball, but you got to defend this area now. This is all you, because this person's out the picture. So you have to already get a head start. You got to look up ahead, pay attention, and see what's going on, especially if they're fast paced. So I need you to do that. So from the get go, we need to see what's going on in case they're they start off fast. And you'll have teams that's what they do. They have the right personnel in the right positions, and they've been practicing. Okay, this is what we're gonna push. We're gonna attack. This is what we're gonna do. And it's no different from any other team. We're the same way. So when we have the ball, what we want to do is we want to go in. We want to push, and that's nothing we worked on too. We worked on the defense side of the kickoff and on the kickoff on the offensive side of the kickoff. So the same thing. So let's reverse this. Reverse this, and this is us. We're going to, and I have, let me see, a collection. I gotta sign in. Where's my, okay, hold on, let me see. Give me my collection. Oh, animation. Okay, so animation. Okay, so this is the animation here, right? So frame 1. So this is how we started. We're probably not gonna, it's gonna be similar to this, okay? So say like this is how we're gonna be lined up. Maybe we're like that. But can I go back? Can I go back and reset? Okay, so let me go and reset. Collection, animation, kickoff. I'm still getting used to this, so I'm still like learning on how to use this, but this is pretty cool. So frame 1, the frame 0. So say like this is how we start off, right? We're gonna pass back, um, and I'm gonna play it for you. So you see how they're moving? See how everyone's kind of pushing up and pushing up? So if we go frame by frame, you see how they're moving up? As soon as the ball moves, everyone's already moving up. In frame two, they're moving up with the ball. They're going to get in position to either go for an assist or be open in case, when the defense, already, when they can go and pressure our ball carrier. We can pass it off, or we can go for a cross, or maybe take a shot. But who knows? The point is what we talked about was when the ball's in motion and we're pushing forward. Everyone else is what? Everyone else is also pushing. We're not standing around. We're not just kind of waiting out here. We can't do that. We can't afford to do that. So if this person, kicks off, and then there's just these two, right? Um, they're not standing around, they're not standing here, and they're not just standing here. It's not just gonna be 9 and 8. It needs to be everyone else, because we need to be able to create, right? That's the word, right? Create an opportunity. We're creating opportunities to score, or offensive opportunities to score. And how we do that by trying to get open in situation to where they have defenders, they're on them, they can't go anywhere. So once they stop here, they're gonna look up and they say, "Man, what can I do with the ball?" We talk about making, decision making. So okay, so obviously they can't progress any further here. They can try to do like a fancy footwork and kind of juke them all, but this is not the league where a lot of these players are at that level that can do so. If they can, great. That's perfect. But more than likely, you have kids that are good at defending. You're gonna be double teamed or triple teamed. So you want to look for a teammate that's open, and you're gonna pass it. So we talk about passing, passing, passing. When you're passing the ball more, especially, where's my box at? Especially here, we're gonna create situations to where we can score on, as opposed to just one person. You're trying to juke, and then you lose the ball because you got 3-on-1 situation and didn't pass the ball, and then now what happens is they're gonna clear it. They're gonna have their speedsters, right? They're gonna have their speedsters down here already, and then we got to catch up. We got to fall back. So now we are creating a disadvantage for our defenders. Because they have to run back. They have to fall back, right? So as they're running back, not like they're running back the position, but they're running back uh, to defend the ball. You creating these scenarios where they can pass. It's just them. They get smoked, and they're gonna come up here, and it's just this person's on the outside, so there's like 2-on-1 or 2-on-2, and you're making it very difficult. You're making it very difficult for the goalie to defend, because at this point, when you have these additional options where you're gonna pass, you don't know what's gonna happen. You don't know if they're gonna. Again, we don't know these players, so they're gonna kick it from out here, or they're gonna try to come in, and then it can keep dribbling in and go for a shot, or they can go pass. So now you make it difficult for the goalie. So they can defend over a kick, or hopefully, like try to position yourself to where if he passes it off or crosses this person, that you can react and save this goal. So it's just one of those things, and that's why it's important to not try to be the hero. But when we're down here, right? We're creating opportunities to score. So as what they're going to try to do to us, we need to do to them. So, and this isn't like a strategy or anything. This is pretty much mostly with my team. Okay, so I'm working with a team in a league that's not like, it's not a pro league. Okay, it's not a professional league. These are kids that are still young, or um, they're not professional. They haven't been playing that long. So it's a mix of some experienced players and inexperienced players, right? So this is more to kind of fit, my specific team. So whether or not this works for you and your team, it just depends. So, but passing the ball, just like one of the warm-ups and skill games that you can do called Rondo, where I could use this right here. So I could use this real quick if we just focus in this square, right? This square here, we have these people positioned, players positioned here, and we have someone positioned here as a defender, and they're passing the ball around. So it's the same concept, right? We're passing the ball around, right, to avoid the defender from intercepting the ball and losing possession. So they're gonna run here, and we're gonna pass it to. Oh, that's ugly. We're gonna pass it to someone that's open. But if we're not passing the ball, or we hold on to the ball, and we're holding on to the ball, and they're coming here, you know, we lose the ball. So we don't want that to happen down here. We want to pass the ball just like any other passing drills or whatever. Similar, the purpose is to keep the ball away from your opponent, right? You want to pass the ball and create opportunities to score. And so that's one thing that we talked and we worked on. So hey, pass the ball a bit more, communicate. So these past couple practices, it was about learning to be more vocal. Hey, call the names, get familiar with your teammate. These are teammates for the rest of the season, right? So, and some of these kids haven't played before. So it's like, hey, passing ball. So once you get more comfortable with that, the easier it becomes because, okay, you know them by name. You're so, okay, cool. Now I can pass. I know I'm not the only one on the team. And I think that's something that some people kind of, they don't, they don't really adapt as fast or understand as quickly as others. But it just, same thing with everything else. It just takes a bit of practice and repetition. So the more you do it, the better you become at it, and the more comfortable you're at it. So this practice was great. So that's what we worked on. Let me see if I does it reset everything? It breaks. I broke it. I broke the board. I broke it. So, but anyway, yeah. So worked on the defensive side of a kickoff, the offensive side of kickoff. We worked on throw-ins. We worked on not so much corner kick. We did that before in previous practice. So that wasn't the important thing. Direct indirect kick I covered like in person. Did that in the last video too, or was the last video or this video? I think it was the last video. I covered direct kick. Um, Rules, placement, the wall, and let me see what else. Yeah, that's pretty much all the big things. Yeah, for the most part, I do have a video that I want to share. So I'm gonna play this video, and I'm going to provide commentary to the video. This is it's taken from a game I played on FIFA 18 using the created players. Like I put the team in the game, and there are two scenarios. One as the goalie and one as a offender, right? So I wanted to kind of share using the replay and using kind of the slow mode, and you can kind of change. Uh, you can pick the player. You can kind of choose a point, change the point of view, and I wanted to kind of share the perspective of that particular person. So that way you get a better understanding of what their job is, and how hard it can be to block a goal with this that, or how easy it is to score a goal if you're the other person. So there's two perspectives that I reviewed and I highlighted. So that's is one is the first is of the goalie, and the second is the teammate of the other ball of the other teammate of their team that was that scored. So let me go and pull that up. Actually, I got it. I already have it up here. Hold on. Let me see. I know you can hear it, but can you see it? No, that's me. Hi, that's me. Um, I'm probably gonna use this. Let me shrink my face. Let me shrink that so you can see. And let me add this. This is normally what I use, or over here, what you see is the game, right? But I don't have that right now. And I can auto, let me see, capture, let me see, 200 IQ, free kicks, no, media player. Okay, there we go. Okay, there we go. Can I make this any bigger? I guess not. Okay, so this is, let me start this from the beginning. So, all right, so here we go. This is the goalie first and then the other player. So, goalie perspective, I see the ball coming. So, you're seeing as the goalie, right? So, you see it's focused on the player there with the soccer ball. And he's facing the direction of the ball. But you see he's coming back. He's coming back because he see that opening there. And then he just got scored on. The they made a pass, and then he had to go hurry up and try to his best to defend and make that save, right? So this is the perspective that you don't see. This is what the goalie sees. This is why it makes it difficult, and some people don't understand. But this is a lot of situations we're trying to create on offense to score, especially if I'm 2-on-1 in such a situation. So I'm here. I'm trying to find the right person because it was a pass that was made. Okay, so this is the person. Okay, this is the striker point of view. He's right there in the penalty box, right? So he's in the penalty box. You see the person on the outboard side coming down, and you see how there's that wide open space there. So, and then you look into the right, see how pans to the right. You see where the defenders are, and so the player he's going with the right side. The striker is moving inside. He's moving inside, and then you see you spin around. You look at the point of view, and he's going. Okay, so he's gonna make a decision here. And you see this defender. You have the striker there. He's going to pass it. He got put himself in position to be open, so he's wide open, and he's taking that shot. Now, he scores a goal, and it's probably not one of the best examples I could have used, but I know I can manually. Okay, so you see the hour here. So you have a defender. You see how wide open they are, right? So he's here. You got defender running. They're running back. They're running back. And the ball has already been passed. So the ball's there. It's being passed to the striker. See, in this point of view, you see the point of view where he has a line inside the goal. And this goalie was just facing here, and he has to hurry up and do one of these things. So he's here. He's focusing here. And as soon as it passes, now he's quickly adjust himself to prepare for where the ball's going. So you're reacting to where the ball's at, and the ball's going over here, and then it's really fast. It's that fast, So I mean, it's not gonna be in slow motion in real life. In real life, that ball is gonna go pass and a kick, and you're gonna have to react to that. It's not gonna go that you're not gonna see a ball floating down, and then it's slowly coming your way, and then you're like, okay, cool, I can go ahead and block it. It's not going to happen like that in real time, because in real time it's a lot faster than what you think it is. And this is the perspective from the goalie. He has to react. He has to adjust. Boom. Okay, it's a pass. Okay, I got to hurry up. And he's taking that kick already. That kick is being kicked at a certain velocity, and then boom, it's going in. excuse me, and he's not being, he's not really being covered. You see, he's not really being covered. He's wide open. So it's important that as if you're the goalie, you're on defense, and you see things like that, these players has to be marked. You cannot allow, someone be so open and to receive a pass. We don't want anyone to be open to where they can receive a pass and can possibly score just like here in this scenario here, right? We don't want that. So if you're a defender, right, and then you see everyone's attacking, and maybe I can move this now. So um, and let me get a clean board here. How do I do a little clean thing? No, that's the marker. Yeah, I guess I'll start over. So we're here. So we're just gonna focus on here, right? We're gonna focus on here. Let me get my square. This is where we're gonna focus on, right? So I'll leave that here. So hopefully that's not confusing. We have defenders here for a reason, right? So remember, we're using 3-3-2, and it's all dependent. Not everyone's going to use 3-3-2. And for those of you, just a reminder, this is 9v9. 9v9. And one of the formations that we're going to use is 3 defenders, 3 midfielders, and 2 forwards. Right? 3-3-2 goalie. That makes 9. But in that scenario, let's make them yellow, right? If they're coming and they're approaching here, right, with the ball, we need to be in front. We need defending, not trying to win the ball. And that's another thing we worked on really quick. I'm trying to change the subject, but we worked on defense. We worked on defending the ball, not trying to win the ball, but preventing them from really from pushing and attacking. We can slow it down just enough to where, oh, look at this, they're coming for help, and now there's like a double trouble. Now it's 2-on-1, and so they have a decision to make. They really can't do much with the ball here unless backup comes. So backup comes, right? They help them out, and then they can pass the ball to. So that's one thing we worked on, and I'll spend like a minute or two on that right after this. But to go over what we just saw, right, is we don't want them to where they get behind. You never want them to get behind you, right? Defense. We don't want them to get behind you because then we lose control. We lose the edge, right? We don't want that to happen. So if they're faster, we talked about like the difference between speed. If you think they're faster, then you kind of gave yourself a little bit more distance, and try to kind of stay with them, not trying to beat them. And then they take off, then you take off, but you're not trying to take off side by side. You're taking off like trying to get in front, and then some people are just gonna be faster. But what's gonna happen is they're on the chase, right? They're running, and they're being chased down. So they are not going to be fundamentally, as fundamentally able to dribble as well as if they weren't being defended. So you're kind of putting some pressure on them, and hopefully it'll make them make some mistake if they're not that great as a dribbler, right? So as you're running alongside them, right, you may be behind, but the point is they're running, and at that speed, once once they get this close, that's not much real estate for them to do anything. They can have to slow down, or else they can end up kicking the ball in the back end. If they don't have any help, that's they're kind of stuck, because hopefully we'll have our other fullbacks to come back and assist. So we don't want this to happen. We don't want like everyone to go in, because then this area is not defended. Whether he decides to go for cross, so let's say 4 comes out, they got their midfielder comes out. Remember, when you're offense, right? You're going in, you're going into attack to help what? Create opportunities to what? to score. And they're going to do the same thing. You can see the offense, you know, they're not going to just sit back and chill. They're not sitting down chilling, watching butterflies and counting the planes that's in the air and the stratus and cumulus clouds and all that noise. No, they're going to be here. They're going to join the party. They're going to join the party because, you know, they want to enjoy some of that victory from the Kool-Aid after they win, right? So they're going to come over here and they can go for a cross because they're open. They can go for a cross and they can try for a score. Um, but yeah, we don't want that to happen, right? So we want to make sure that we keep them from being behind us. We keep these people marked. They're being marked so that way they can get open. We keep them from being open. We keep them from receiving the ball. We keep them from receiving the ball. Then there's a good chance that we can intercept the ball and then we can clear it. And to our people on offense, our players on offense, right? So we get here, keep them from scoring, passing, clear the ball, and then the job is done, rinse and repeat. So like in that video, you see how the goalie, from their perspective, from their point of view, they have to adjust. They're over here. So he was over here. He was like this, right? And all of a sudden he had to go and following the ball, and then just like that, you got scored on. It's tougher. So had that um, player been picked up and marked and it wasn't open, that wouldn't have happened. Now, don't ask me what difficulty it was. I think it was like the pro difficulty. But even at the pro level, you can't rely on, you know, everyone else to do their part. So I guess that's a good thing. Um, you know, so it doesn't matter whether it's easy or pro. Um, you just can't, you know, you do your part, right? And that's pretty much it. So that was practice. We did a scrimmage. Um, the pass that went, you know, pretty well. Um, and after practice, we ran a little bit. You know, we had like a sprint and back, and that was pretty much it. So um, hope we're all set for the game this week, and I know that we'll do well, whether we'll win or not. It's not as important, but what you take from that game, you know, what you've learned from playing your first game and how you can improve in the next game. That's the most important part. Winning is a byproduct from all the work you put in and from applying everything that you've learned. So, and if you win, that's great. You know, that's great. But the overall objective is to have fun and to get a sense that you've learned something and that you put that to use on the field, and then we've gotten results. So that's that. I'll leave it at that, and I'll see you at the game.